Hey guys, it's Jenny Silver, and today I want to talk to those of you who are collecting unemployment benefits who are reaching the September end date. PEUC, PUA, Fed Ed, many of your unemployment programs are ending, and many of you do continue to ask me if these programs will be extended. Well, today I want to have an honest discussion with you guys. And I want to be real upfront about something. I want you guys to switch your thinking. As we reach the end of the pandemic-related unemployment benefits, and there are currently no extensions on the horizon, I want to seriously encourage you guys to pivot your mindset, pivot your thinking, and truly consider creating streams of self-employment income, because I was in your situation, but I was able to pivot my source of income with a lot of hard work relatively quickly in order to change with the times and make sure that I was able to still provide for my family during an intense time of uncertainty. I want to encourage you guys, as we reach the end of these benefits, to try to look for ways that you can generate your own income. If you can't find work, try to create your own. Before the pandemic, my family had moved out of the Bay Area up to the Sacramento area. Bay Area living costs were too high for us. We had incurred quite a bit of debt and we had to move out to a cheaper area. We moved, and moving added additional expense to that. My business regularly took in a six-figure income, but that was not enough to sustain us in Silicon Valley. When we moved, my husband's job was driving for Uber and Lyft. When the pandemic hit, my husband went unemployed. All of my wedding commissions for the next year and a half were rescheduled for about 2 years later. An entire calendar of income gone. In addition to that, I also refunded several clients thousands of dollars. My average wedding commission is anywhere between $6,000 and $10,000. And I refunded several of them because they were pandemic-related reasons that really just weren't anyone's fault. In addition to that, we also had a significant problem with medical bills. We chose the wrong hospital. I have self-employed health insurance for myself and my children. I had a huge medical bill for my son. With our debt from the Bay Area, with medical bills, with both of us unemployed, with no savings and a mountain of debt, we then entered into applying for unemployment. We applied for unemployment. We didn't know if we were going to be able to pay our rent. We started looking at other options, if we would have to move to a new house, etc. We began to receive unemployment benefits. At that same time, I decided that I needed to try every possible avenue to pivot my business model with the times to try to actually replace my income stream. Several different things to pivot within the niches that I already was in, but the one thing that stuck was the thing that I thought I would hate doing, which was YouTube. I am not someone that likes to be the center of attention. I don't like having millions of people watch me on video. It's something that as an introvert makes me feel uncomfortable when I first started it. That's no longer something that bothers me, and I quickly got over that, but I never thought that this would be my job. My channel grew, and for most of the pandemic, my channel has been receiving an average of 1 million views per month. In addition to that, I've developed other streams of income as well along the way, or strengthened ones that were already there. So why am I telling you this? Because I was there too. We had lost both of our incomes. My husband's income, my income were gone. We had debt, we had medical bills. We didn't know exactly how we were going to come out of it. I think it's really important that you guys see that someone who is in the same situation was able to pivot and is now flourishing. I want to encourage you guys to consider streams of self-employment income. For those of you that have never been self-employed, I want you to consider it. I want you to think about what you do well, how you are able to monetize it, and earn income. If you can't find a job, create your own job. Now I want to show you just a couple months from where I started. Back in May of 2020, you can see here that I had revenue total, my total income from my business was $249. However, my net income is in the red. I made negative $1,161.31 that month because I still had to pay the expenses and overhead fees to keep my business as a business. And in the month of June 2020, I made a whopping 9 cents as my total revenue. And still, those business expenses continued on, so my net income was negative $551.71. Now, I'm just giving you a peek at a couple months that were impacted. But you guys, because I was able to find new streams of self-employment income and pivot how I was earning money, I was able to get off of unemployment within just a couple of months. I was able to far surpass what I had previously made in my business before the pandemic because of those pivots and because of the change in mindset. I was able to pay off our entire mountain of debt. I was able to provide for my family on that single income and was able to grow beyond what I thought would be possible during such an extremely difficult time. Now, this is a re-edit of this video. My original version of this video did show you my 2021 income totals, but I'm deciding that that's not in very good taste to share at this current moment. Now, I may share that information at a later point in time if there's enough interest to take an actual real look at that 2021 full pivot and see what it looked like. Because for many of you, it may be motivational to see exactly what could be achieved. But for now, I am re-editing this video because I think that the focus needs to be on your own personal journey. How can you start exactly where you are at and figure out which different creative outlets you can explore to try to create streams of income for yourself? How can we take a terrible situation and try to see all the possible hidden opportunities to pivot and grow within those terrible circumstances? Now, I also want to be realistic with you. Self-employment is not easy. It's extremely hard. Self-employment always has ups and downs. It can be extremely scary. You have to plan for yourself. You don't have an employer, a contract, or anything. Self-employment can also be extremely scary though, so I want to be real with you guys. It is not easy to set up a stream of self-employment income and maintain it. It does take a lot of work. Additionally, there are a lot of things that you're going to have to learn, such as paying taxes, allocating enough to pay those taxes and setting it aside, all of the legal hoops you have to jump through, etc. There's a lot there, but I do have a lot of content to help you guys through this over on my channel homepage that has already been created. As we reach the end of pandemic-related benefits, whether or not there actually does end up being an extension later on down the line, I want to encourage you guys to shift your thinking, change your mindset, try to figure out what you do well and how you can monetize it as a stream of self-employed income. I want you guys to be encouraged to see what the potential is. The potential is here. I created this income myself. I saw where my talents lied. I saw where there was a need, and I found ways in which I could fulfill that need for information and services to others. Anyone can do this. If I can do this, if I can go from a household with no income, with a mountain of debt, with medical bills, we lost both of our cars at one point because they broke down, we couldn't replace them. If I can go from that to this quickly, I want to encourage you guys to do the same. Now, my channel homepage has resources already available there on how to start your business in the state of California, where I walk through all of the steps that you need to take. I talk about seller's permits. I talk about how to get your business license. I talk about how to plan for taxes. There is already a wealth of content over on my channel homepage. Guys, some of them are old videos that need an upgrade, but the information, the content, and the help is all there. Moving forward, I'm going to be sharing different self-employment ideas for you guys and how to actually get them started. If you have never considered self-employment, I want you to know that it is a difficult journey. It's extremely hard. Sometimes it can feel very similar to battling getting your pending payments paid with the EDD. There's a lot to manage. There's a lot of things to know. It can be extremely challenging, but right now, if you are unable to locate work, if your benefits are ending, I want you to seriously consider how you can make money doing what you are good at and what makes you unique and what your own skill set is. Take those interests, take that knowledge, and figure out a way to monetize it. If I can do it, then you can do it too. Okay, you guys, I hope that was helpful. Please click like, subscribe, and leave me a comment down below.